Okay, I can't. Apparently, guys, we're not allowed to start yet. I'm sorry. I really timed it. I thought I timed it out all really well. Because we're in the lobby. Lambo said he was good to go. So we're just waiting for Serral's good to go. And I was like, man, if I can time this up with own tanks saying start the game, this would be perfect. But now the Chinese admin says 2 minutes, please. So on a more serious note, the game is starting in 2 minutes. I don't know why we have to wait 2 minutes. But hey, that works out well for our prediction. All right, never mind. We're good to go. Tank, we still good? Tank, give us one final go ahead. Because when you said you were ready, I wasn't sure if Serral or Reina was happy. What are the WCS cards? I can actually show them to you because I have all of them in a binder. But I can show that after this best of 5 ends. Come on, let's go. All right, guys. Tank is ready. I'm ready. Chat is ready. Players are ready. Let's get it on. Guys, let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Thank you, own PK Tank, for blessing us to start the game. That man is ready, so we're starting this game. That's how powerful you are. No, Tank is ready. I'm sorry, rest of the chat. It does not matter if you're ready or not. If Tank says start the game, we're starting this fucking game. This is how we do it over here. This man hops in the channel and tells us when we are good to go. Not all chat was ready, but it's okay. The MVP Tank was ready. If Tank is ready, we're good. Alright, guys. Another day of Masters Coliseum. We've got 4 amazing best of 5s ahead of us. It's lower bracket, round 1. Obviously, a lower bracket means if you lose here, it is all over. If you win, you move into lower bracket round 2. There's a lot of money on the line. I don't know what the price difference is between lower bracket round 1 and 2, but we'll take a little look at that soon. For now, we're just going to enjoy the living hell out of this best of 5. And if Serral wins, we're doing a giveaway. And it's a good giveaway.
Let's get it on.
At least I think it's a good giveaway.
Round 1. Fight.
In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who went 5-0 in series, 10-0 in maps in the group stage of the Masters Coliseum, but he lost yesterday in the first round of the upper bracket to Liquid Clément. Can we bounce back today in a strong manner? Basilisk Serral. Woohoo! Top left side, we are looking at the main base of our man that's representing the Shopify Rebellion. Had a good showing in the group stage, even if he went 2 and 3. But by the time he played his last series, the last series didn't really matter anymore. So the fact that he was already through 1 series before the end, I think is impressive. It is the Rebellion's Lambo. Lambo, who will also be at the Home Story Copy this weekend. The little mini party Home Story Copy. I love ZVZ, guys, and we're getting a whole bunch of it today. Nobody's doing anything too weird. Lambo's not a guy that I think goes too crazy. Obviously, Dark playing ZVZ, that could get pretty crazy. But Lambo's, I don't think, gonna do crazy stuff. But what he will probably do is show up with a couple of very sharp builds that are going to hit like a truck. Will Creator be there? There's no way that Creator is actually there. But I guess Creator will participate in the games online. Yes, I did say he was supposed to go, because I thought that was the plan. But there were a lot of things that I thought were the plan for this tournament that weren't really the plan. But I'm sure we're going to have fun. Saturday in Krefeld, couple drinks, a little stream, couple video games, good people. It should be fun, right? You imagine Lambo will be skipping a lot of corners to gain small advantages? Yes. But on the other hand, Lambo is not a guy that likes to play like a clown. Like, there are some people who embrace the clown fiesta of the ZVZ and they are willing to roll their dice and be ultra crazy. Lambo, even if he knows that he's the underdog and even if he knows that his opponent is incredibly strong, he will still apply most of the knowledge he has about the matchup. So I think it's mostly going to come down to very sharp all-ins, maybe a bit of that solo special, you know, the Ling Roach Bane all-in of 31, 29 drones, whatever, no lair tech. I think we're definitely going to see some of that, but obviously Yona knows. Yona knows that almost everyone in his right mind fears him in normal games. So if they want to get the best of him in ZVZ, they need to do very committed stuff. And I think Serral is going to be ready for a lot of it. Scouting obviously is going to be incredibly important. That is absolutely true, Vera. And throughout the year, ZVZ has not always been Serral's friend. He had a couple of good showings. You think of the 3-0 against the Rainer at the ESL Summer Championships, but he also lost a couple of very painful ZVZs. Ragnarok quarterfinals, IEM Katowice, Solar quarterfinals, game as 8, and of course Raynor 3-0 at Home Cup as well. So it hasn't been an invincible year for the great Jonas Sutala in the ZVZ matchup. You don't remember that one? You remember the one in Krefeld though. So at least Raynor remembers half of them, which is exactly as good as Raynor's WTL record. Coincidence? I think not. Roach 1 and Roach 1 going down, both players mirroring one another. 3 bases, 38 drones. Circling speed. Like, Serral will gladly play the exact same game as Lambo throughout the entire series. If Lambo can sign a petition right now, or a contract, a gentleman's agreement, hey, let's do the exact same thing, make the exact same units with the same amount of drones, Serral will sign it. Lambo may not sign it. Serral's making 8 roaches, guys. Either he was very paranoid or he's going to be aggro. I'm starting to feel that he will be aggro. Lambo needs to stop droning, guys. Lambo needs to stop droning. He's already on 45. Oh my goodness, he's still building drones. And this is where Serral is going to make his way to the other side of the map for the very first time. I think the roaches should be spotted there. I think Lambo is in all sorts of trouble. Babylon is not a very big map. This would be one hell of a hold if Lambo can pull this one off. Serral going for a little bit of that Solar special, and I think that Lambo is in trouble. Especially if one of the queens gets caught, and the queen does get surrounded immediately. We don't have energy for transfuse. There's a lot of roaches in production though. Lambo just needs to buy time, right? Lambo knows that every second that goes by is going to be good for him, but he needs to not lose too many units. He ends up losing 2 queens before his own roaches are even battling, and I kind of think it's game over, guys. Now all of these roaches are going to get caught one by one. A lot of drones will fall. Maybe not totally game over yet, but kind of game over. And knowing Lambo, not a guy who sticks around in games too much longer, it is totally game over. It is Yona who strikes first in this ZVZ best of 5 with, yeah, the Solar special. Made a few more drones than Solar did. I mean, Lambo's still battling, but he's already so far behind, and I think he's going to end up losing this hatchery. I don't think there's anything he can really do to save it. We don't have transfuse energy anymore, so we lost 8 drones. We lose the hatch. And it's not even that Lambo gets all the roaches. He barely gets any of them. Lambo will, however, stay in. He cancelled the lair, too. The lair was actually very close to finishing up, but he cancelled it in the midst of all of that. That's it's terrible. Or terrible. It's very, very, very bad for Mr. Lambo. And he obviously knows that. Johan Merlo. Reina says that this is Lambo's build. I don't know, man. Whenever I see roaches, lynx, and banes run to the other side of the map, I think of Solar. But yeah, Solar does it over a lot less drones than Serral did it here. But apparently Lambo got Lamboed. I will not disagree. I don't know who claims what attack and what build in ZVZ. I only know when it's going to work and when it doesn't work. Lynx are gonna get another queen. It's a painful game here for Lambo, guys, because I would love to find the silver lining, but it just kind of feels inevitable that Yona can keep on spamming roaches with +1 missile attacks, roach speed, make a couple ravages, and I just don't see how Lambo holds with the amount of damage he has taken so far. He's gonna try, but I think the writing is on the wall for this one. And there is not really any other way to spin it. 17 roaches on the production tab. That's a whole lot of roaches. Lambo is going double expand and double evo. So if there is a world, guys, where Lambo pulls off a miraculous hold, or Serral never attacks, yeah, then he's cooking. But I don't know if he can pull off a miraculous hold, and I also don't see a world where Serral never attacks. Because of course Serral is going to attack right when +1 missile attacks lines up. And we're looking at 116 Iron Spike against 65, 43 roaches against 22. And a tiny upgrade advantage as well for Serral, at least for the first 8 seconds of this fight. I think it is very over. Lambo will know that too. We can get ready for game 2. Serral strikes first with that initial Ling Roach Bane attack. He's taking the Ravages, yeah. It's alright. Like, at least this is the kind of game that if you're Lambo, I think you can get over rather quickly. It's just, alright, you made a few more drones, you saw it a little bit too late. You were investing in a phase in the game that wasn't quite there yet. You know where it went wrong. It's not that you got outplayed. Like, it's a lot worse if you start off a best of 5 and you get yourself in a good spot, you know you're a little bit ahead, and then you just get straight up outplayed. Like, that feels terrible because you're like, well, fuck, I had a good start and I lost. What happens if I have a bad start or an even start? This is the kind of game where it's very simple to analyze what went wrong. We made too many drones. Our roaches were a little bit too late. We made too many drones. And we gotta do better. There's perhaps a world where if that first queen doesn't get surrounded, if the 3 queens can make it back to the natural, that it's not all that bad, but we'll never know. Thought should have been here yesterday when the soup was lying a lot. In the Ragnarok game, right? Ragnarok Cure? Yeah, the supply was lying heavily in that one. Let's roll. Alright guys, Tank says let's roll, which means that Tank is okay with the second game starting. And if own PK Tank says start this second game, Serral's in, Roddy's in, Lambo's in, we're gonna start the second game. This is how we do it. Thank you to Tank, guys. If we can just get a little thank you to Tank in the chat, I think that would be appreciated.
Round 2. Fight!
Top right side, the man who went 10-0 in the group stage but lost to Clem yesterday, so he finds himself in lower bracket round 1, but so far so good for the man from Basilisk and the man who's in charge of potentially me giving away a cap and some WCS cards. This is Yona. Basilisk Serral. Bottom left side of Shopify Rebellions. We're looking at the main base of the man who's probably not very happy with that previous game, but I do think it's one that's easy to digest. You know where it went wrong. Shopify Rebellions. Lambo. Yo, let's go. Cool Vibrod, mate, with a 115-month resub. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day, as we have normal ZVZ-oriented openings here. I know that sometimes people talk about like the longest sub there is, and then someone like Day9's channel who had a sub badge before a lot of the other channels will always win. I think it would be very cool if you could see a list of channels where there are like 10 people that have above 100 months, for instance. Because I actually think that I have a very unique channel in that regard. We legit have 10, 15 accounts that have subbed for over 100 months. I think it makes my channel very special, but... Legendary. Yeah, a little bit. StarCraft 2 has a couple of very passionate nerds out there, and I'm very happy that they chose me. I was their Pikachu. Thank you, Anonymous, for gifting a subby too. As we're gonna keep a close eye on who builds what amount of units. Royal Blood is the map where Serral actually lost his only game in the WTL Code S regular season. Yona had an absolutely insane record of something like 21-1 or 23-1. Only dropped one map in all of the WTL Code S matches he played, not including the playoffs, obviously. And that was against Scarlet on Royal Blood, where Serral actually looked very good. We know that Lambo calls Serral the Helmet Zerk, which is alluding to the fact that Serral plays a very safe style, takes everything serious, and he's basically always playing ZVZ while wearing a helmet. But in that game, the helmet was ready, but the helmet kind of failed us. Serral was basically ready for the first big attack, defended it, and then he thought the game would go on. But then Scarlet doubled down on more units, and Yona didn't see that one coming. And Scarlet is, of course, Lambo's teammate. That is correct, Mr. Cobblestone. Couple moment there, guys. Just adding in some very valuable information into this broadcast. What would I do without my man Cobble? But Scarlet is, I think, a little bit distracted in this day and age, because he's obviously working on Zero Space. I think he has played a lot of Stormgate. Scarlet is basically trying to make sure that the future generations of RTS players will be well taken care of. But if you're doing all those things, then I also wonder how much StarCraft 2 are you really playing? Roach 1 goes down on the side of Yona, already has his safety bailing nest as well. Don't think he's necessarily gonna go for a similar attack. Will it be Lambo this time, guys? That is willing to bring some fire and fury into the early game of CVC, or Will it just be Lambo who's going to scout? Make sure everything is correct. Gets a good little scout off here, guys. The only thing he missed, I guess, is the roach one. So, is it really that good, Kevin? I still thought it was an okay scout. He obviously saw... He knows the timing of the third base. He saw the amount of drones. He saw the amount of links. Saw there was no weird quick lair in the main base. Serral is queuing up a couple roaches, guys. 40 drones. 6 roaches are on the production tab. We have another Overlord finishing up as well. So it could very well be Yona again, who is going to try to test the waters. But Lambo's building roaches way early at this game. Now, Time was actually qualified for this tournament. And can you please call him Oliveira, sir? I do not appreciate it if you that name Time. But Oliveira did qualify. I'm joking, by the way. He did qualify for this tournament, but he decided to sit it out. The TLDR of that is that he was a little bit burned out. He practiced really hard for Game S8, but then there was a silly Italian kid that ruined it all. And now he's a little bit sad that it didn't go his way. So he decided to sit this tournament out. Lair on the way for Lambo. No lair yet for Serral, but this is basically that ultimate helmet Zerg. Serral's even building a spine, guys. A tiny misread here for the great Yona Sotala. As a Lambo is showing a couple of roaches, and he's like, just kidding, just tricking you. We need to cancel this spine. And Serral needs to tack up. But Lambo's actually getting the upper hand of this ZVZ chess match so far, where it's all about selling fake and false information to your opponent. Lambo, tiny advantage, guys. Obviously, he needs to keep on building drones, but he will do that. That's a Spire. And we all know that Serral does not enjoy the Muta in ZVZ. Honestly, I don't think that Serral can do a whole lot about it. Now, BASILISK are obviously fantastic in this matchup. The biggest challenge that you have as a guy... Oh, this is a good scout, by the way, because you spot the gases at 5 and 6. I think Serral will now know what's up. He will know that this is most likely Muta. But what can he really do about it? I kind of think you just have to pray you can get up to 4 bases. So maybe start spreading a little bit of creep. Get some Spore Crawlers, drop a Hydra then. And take it from there. I really like this game so far for Lambo though, guys. I think even though 6.5 minutes in, it may seem like nothing has happened. A lot of little things have happened. And they are starting to favor Lambo a little bit. Where is that Spire? That Spire is in the back of the main base. Yeah, Overlord speed as well, but I don't think we can really do anything with it. Serral hasn't necessarily scouted it yet, but he just knows. And he is going to drop the Hydra then. I would like maybe a Spore per base too. I don't know if that's overkill or if that's too much. Here is our Overseer Scout on the side of Yona. He's going to spot the Spire, but it's safe to say that he already knew. By seeing the gases, the man pretty much already knew. Am I going to the real Home Story Cup? I really hate that name. But yes, I will be going. I don't know when I arrive. I have an appointment on Saturday morning because I've been blind for the last 2 years. And I figured it's time for some new contact lenses. It's just that contact lenses are expensive. At least the ones that I have. That's like 200 and something buckies for the one in my left eye. So I've been avoiding it, but I really need to get new contacts. So I have an appointment first, and after that I'll drive to Krefeld. Ooh, this is a nice little catch, by the way, guys, for Lambo. As the Mutas are distracting Serral, and Serral is outnumbered here. Road speed also wasn't totally done yet. I don't think Lambo should stick around forever, but Lambo says, F you, Roddy, I am going to stick around forever. I like those zoning corrosive balls. Mutas are doing good. Lambo is playing a phenomenal game 2 here so far, guys. And that hatchery, I think, is dead. Serral is going to try to keep on running on top of the roaches and ravages and actually saves the hatch. I mean, it's so low on HP, that's going to be hard to keep it around forever. But good save there by Serral. That started off very dire for Yona. And I would be lying if I said I like the game for Serral right now, but that was pretty good. That was honestly pretty good. The Mutas indeed can always swing around and kill it a little bit later. Yeah, no, that was excellent, but we're not there yet, guys. Don't celebrate too early. Serral is going to be a little bit in the dark. That's obviously the power of the BASILISK. You take away a lot of the map vision of your opponent. That's why Serral split off one roach there just to give himself a tiny bit of a heads up. What are the Mutas going to go for? Couple Overlords, maybe a Queen. And snipe some Banelings. Cool. One of the Queens is very low on HP. It will fall. Serral down to 2 Queens, guys. Does have 11 Hydras. One thing that could get scary is if at one point Serral just says F it and he sends it. Maxed out Roach Hydra. Could honestly be scary. Especially because there is a tiny advantage on that +2. Nice army movement here by Lambo. He goes for the full rotation. And Serral obviously doesn't know, guys. So he's going to be forced to split up his units. He's scouting with a single Roach here. That's very cute. And he's now going to see all these units. But this is not everything that Serral has. And it is most of what Lambo has. But I do think Serral is still in time here. And the Hydras, they do pack a punch in moments like this. So really good defense by Yona once more. Serral playing an excellent game here, guys, despite the fact that he's under a lot of pressure. But now the Mutas can I wouldn't have gone for that Roach. I would have gone for the Queens, maybe that Hedge. I actually think the Hedge could have died there. I know the Muta count is not crazy high. Tunneling Claws is done. And Serral is an absolute master in getting max value out of Tunneling Claws. Here come the Mutas. They want that Hedge. Transfuse goes down, but Transfuse cannot save the Hedge forever. This is obviously, guys, where Serral is going to try to make some magic happen. Lambo is pretty ready for it. And obviously here a Spine to buy some time. Good read on the game by Lambo. Lambo needs to be careful here as a lot of his units are going to get cut. Nice Karosabal though. Snipes the Hydra. Serral definitely not finding crazy damage yet, but he is creating chaos. Oh, this is actually a terrifying army, guys. Lambo actually needs to be ultra careful here. This is so much beautiful concave there. It feels that Serral just has an overwhelming amount of units, and the Hydras, they do really pack a punch in ZVZ if they are well protected. And I'm starting to feel this for Serral a little bit. The Mutas are not going to add a whole lot in fights like this. Obviously, the Spines can buy a little bit of time. A couple of the Mutas fly in, but we only have 3 Mutas left, so he lost 5 of them somewhere. These Mutas are going to get picked off too, and Lambo is low on cash and has just taken a really, really bad fight. Damn Hydras, guys. Damn Hydras, you don't mess with the mean killing machine. That's the Hydralisk. And in a game where it felt a lot of things went well for Lambo, all of a sudden it's Serral who's looking mighty fine. The Tunneling Claws paying off in a big way. 23 Roaches have gone down. This is peak Serral right here, guys. This is why the man is so incredibly difficult to defeat in ZVZs. You give him a couple bases and he really knows what he's doing. You know, this was a game where I think Lambo was happy with his spot. A lot of things went Lambo his way. But Serral has just played better. Well, impressive defense by Serral a couple of times. Lambo will still have the Hail Mary, guys. There is always the Hail Mary. He's got 145 army supply. He's got a carapace advantage too. This game is not over yet. Serral absolutely has played a lot better over the last 2-3 minutes. But it is not over, because now we have 53 Roaches and 9 Ravagers, and with a good engagement, maybe Lambo can still make some magic happen. It will all come down to the Ravagers. The longer this game goes, the worse it gets. Lambo needs to just kind of shove it in, does a decent job in avoiding the Karosabals, but I don't know, he still ate a couple of big ones. Obviously there is defender's advantage, and the mean killing machine, that's the Hydra, is just doing its moment. Serral takes the 2-0 lead. And I think honestly pretty impressive second game. Who is the GOAT of SC2? My bro said it was Beyond. I only started watching SC2 because I bet on them. Degenerate. A lot of people think Serral's the GOAT. On average, there is only 2 real people that I think can compete for GOAT status. And that is Serral and Maru. And then you have a couple people out there who's like, it's Rogue, it's Rogue. But it's not Rogue. Not even Rogue thinks he's the GOAT, I think. I hope. It's Maru or Serral. Why not Raynor? I think that is not a popular opinion, but I do like the take. The thing is just that Serral has done it for a little bit longer than Raynor has done it. And like over the last few years, they've kind of gone eye for eye. Raynor's had a very, very, very impressive career. Like, I actually would pick Raynor over Rogue, but I think Artosis is willing to die on this Rogue hill. I know, but Artosis is a Brood War player. It's kind of like I am a big football fan, but it's kind of like me having an opinion on football, you know, the little table thing. It's like, I don't know shit about that. Artosis knows Brood War. StarCraft 2, he should leave it up to the big boys. I'm kidding, Dan. Dan is a smart guy, but he's wrong in that one. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into game 3 if Tank is okay with it. I hope, Tank, I didn't ask you if you're ready, but I'm gonna assume that you are ready.
Round 3. Fight.
top left side of Neo-Humanity, we are looking at the main base of our man that's representing Basilisk, taking a 2-0 lead, having a very impressive game 2. Was definitely on the ropes, but he turned things around. Perhaps angry, guys, after that upper bracket quarterfinals yesterday. It is Basilisk, Serral. And obviously, guys, if Serral wins, we're going to do a giveaway with a Basilisk cap and a WCS player pack. And those booster packs, guys, they are being sold for serious money on eBay. So I'm really doing you guys a favor. One hell of a giveaway on the Ruddy stream today. You can participate in that giveaway by joining my Discord, by the way. There will be a giveaway channel. There is a giveaway channel. Bottom right side of Neo-Humanity, we are looking at the main base of our German Zerg. He's representing the Shopify Rebellion. Unlucky in game 1. Had a good opportunity in game 2, but his opponent just got the best of him. Can we turn things around? Shopify Rebellion's Lambo. It's okay, CS, mate. It's okay. Chill. You have a different opinion than some other people. That's fine. Let's move on. I just answered a question. I think we can all agree that it's between Maru and Serral. If not, I cannot help you. If you feel very, very, very passionate about your rogue pick, save it for a rainy day. We're not gonna do that now. Yeah, it's one of the most, I think, iconic moments in StarCraft 2 history, Sentient. That long ZVZ, I don't know if it was on Lost and Found, but it was on one of those maps that looked a little bit like Lost and Found. And it was just like attempt after attempt after attempt after attempt. And then there was this look of despair, where my man Brad, who was in charge of the in-game directing, did a great job in swapping the camera to Rogue's face, where Rogue just kind of leaned back and shook his head, where he's just like, fuck. What do I gotta do to beat this guy? It was a beautiful moment. That indeed really was the kind of game where you can say, the man threw the kitchen sink at him. Tried again, just could not break Serral. Thank you, the real Meerkat Manor, and thank you, Popo. As we have a couple of links. Ooh, Serral taking the center base, guys. Okay, Yona. Both of them obviously having link speed on the way. Lambo is gonna match him. My goodness, I don't think I've ever seen this in a ZVZ. I actually really like it. I actually really like it. Tasteless analysis of the games was very high. That's sweet of you, mate. I do love Nick. But I think he has different strengths than the great analysis. But I do think he's awesome. Alright, guys. 3 base against 3 base, but we are basically neighbors. This right here is now turning into a pretty bad neighborhood. What is this? Baltimore? Because these guys are going to attack these guys, and these guys are going to attack these guys. This is going to be fun. I don't think I've ever seen 2 high-level Zergs both taking the third in the center of the map. Gonna get some good old-fashioned Ling Bane versus Ling Bane. Like, so hard to transition out of Ling Bane in a game like this. I did watch The Wire a long time ago, but I just recently saw a statistic. Like, there is actually one neighborhood that's even worse. Or one city. But Detroit is no longer taking the top. No longer at all. I think New Orleans actually is, homicide-wise, the most dangerous place. New Orleans, Baltimore, Detroit. Something like that. Just had to go with something, guys. However, it's honestly surprisingly peaceful. So perhaps instead of Baltimore, this is more like Rancho Cucamonga, California, because there really isn't a whole lot happening. The drones are stacked up. Nice job there by Lambo. Woohoo! That was a good one, guys, because if those 2 banelings connect with the drones on top of the extractor, every single drone falls. Someone in Baltimore, I feel called out. I don't know the city, mate. I just said something. I'm sure Baltimore is cool. I am honestly surprised that we're even reaching it up to lair versus lair. Who's got more links? It's Lambo with a few more links, even work accounts. This is so crazy. This truly is, to quote Piggy, a knife fight in a phone booth. Because they're so close to each other. And especially with Ling Bane, units that obviously move very quickly. Like, I just think this is bananas. A little supply block on the side of Yona. It's actually going to hurt him a tiny bit. Not forever, but... Nobody has truly found any real damage yet. You can make fun of Gary, Indiana. I'm not sure if those people have internet. To be honest, mate, living in a place without internet. If you're happy, it sounds pretty good. Lambo forced to pull the drones away for a split second. I'm not exactly... He has no banelings left. Okay, Lambo had just lost all of his banes. Didn't remake any banes. And obviously didn't want to take the risk of potentially losing a lot of drones. This is definitely hurting his economy a little bit, though. As he was the one that just wanted to transition into roaches. But this is going to slow you down a little. A lot of lost mining time. You can really see that in the income advantage graph. Even if Serral didn't kill anything there, I think that was a great move. I'm starting to be... Oh! Apparently 2 links snuck into the main base, morphed into banelings, killed 8 drones. So things are going from bad to worse for Lambo here, guys. I missed that one. Oh. -8. There was already... A couple of the drones are very low on HP, make it -9. Serral, man, he's just not taking any prisoners today. Finding value in everything. Lambo was already gearing up for an attack, but that attack right now is a whole lot more committed and all in than I think he initially wanted. Does have an upgrade advantage. Excuse me, does have no upgrade advantage, but he has a numbers advantage, and we're going to go for it. Wants to get that first Ravager. This is it for Lambo, guys. Do or die. He needs an absolutely amazing fight, or his Masters Coliseum will end here. And it's looking somewhat promising, but I think the numbers are just a little bit too close. The Queen's helping out defensively. The defender's advantage on the side of Serral. And Serral right now having +1 missile attacks. Lambo not having it yet. Lambo will double down. He needs to, guys. It is truly now or never. Spine finishing up is painful. What a move there by Serral as he cancels that roach. Morphs it elsewhere, and just like that. 7 minutes and 10 seconds. It is all game over. Serral with the clean sweep. Showing us that it's serious business today. How the hell did those links even sneak in? So, they were here. The 2 very, very, very low HP Zerglings, guys, that were in the main. And he does... Wow, that's cute. That is very cute. He's obviously poking here in the center. And the 2 ultra low HP links morph into banelings. Lambo probably thought his queen killed them, because they were both 1 hit away from dying. Perfect connection. And just like that, it is Serral who will advance into a lower bracket around 2. Probably still not the place that he really wanted to find himself in. And unfortunately for Lambo, his journey ends here. Lambo was a little outclassed. No, I don't agree with that, Smoky Polo. I think Lambo would put up one hell of a fight against quite a few people in this bracket. I actually favor Lambo over 1 or 2 people in this bracket. But, yeah, Serral is Serral. So I don't think that statement is completely fair. Serral's just incredibly good if he's on point. And he was on point.